Hello and welcome back to the Liverpool Groove. It's been a while again, so we do apologise for the delay. We're going to be more on it from now on, hopefully. No, not
As we
hopefully
keep saying.
As we keep saying, it's a running fucking gag at the minute, isn't it? But no, obviously, things get in the way sometimes, but that's not what we're here for. Let's talk about Man City and Liverpool. First half was fucking dire. I was feeling the worst going into the second half. But what a second half it was. It was fucking, that's what the Premier League's all about, that second half.
Yeah, I think under Jurgen Klopp, I think that's the worst half of football I've seen. We just looked petrified of them, and there was no reason to be. We've shown in the second half how good we can be. They are a really good team. They'll expose you if you let them have all the ball. I was a bit shocked with our tactics. I don't think not tactics, because Klopp was raging on the sideline from the 20th minute onwards, shouting, "Be brave." They were petrified. No pass was going right. Second to every ball, getting split apart. And then whatever he said in the dressing room, the second half was different. But I've never wanted a half-time whistle to go so much in my life. I was just praying, just don't concede here. Don't concede before the half-time, because it'll be a rout. And we got in 0-0, luckily. There was a few decisions made in our favour. But that's football, innit? We've had some against us, some go for you.
That's it. Sometimes you get the luck of the draw.
That's it.
I agree with you, though. It was probably the worst half of football I've seen us have under Jurgen Klopp. Do you think we showed them a little bit too much respect in the first half?
Way too much. It was like we were scared to go forward. We didn't have the fullbacks going up. We didn't have the midfields joining the attack. When we attacked, we didn't often attack. We were just so cautious, but every pass was loose. So I think it was more personal performances in that first half, personal nerves rather than as a whole. But I think they all suffered from it. You know what I mean? Henderson was absolutely atrocious for the whole game. He was atrocious. Now, I think that's his worst game. Every pass, he was shitting out the tackles. He was like going in for 50-50, half-hearted, and he would just look slow and sluggish. But they all did, so we couldn't just blame Henderson for the first half performance. But I think when you see your captain playing like that, it doesn't help. I thought Mane looked lazy. Salah was a shadow of himself. The whole Fabinho, terrible. Milner got torn apart, but kept going, kept having a go. He was the only one who could have held his head high going into the dressing room the first half, I think, and Alisson. But it just happens. Sometimes I've always said about Liverpool, it's never one player not performing. It's either all of them are on the ball or all of them are off the ball. And it was just one of them halves. So, I think we showed them way too much respect, especially for some of the recent results they've had. You know what I mean? We should have just went out and started gung ho the first 20 minutes. And you're at Anfield, all the emotion with Sir Roger who sadly passed away, all that going on. I don't know whether it went the opposite way for Liverpool the first half. I don't know whether it was too much emotion.
Yeah, I think maybe that played a part in it. Obviously, like you say, it was an important day to remember Sir Roger, as you say. Just want to point out as well, the whole Premier League, some of the minutes applauses that they were getting. Some of them, it annoyed me a little bit because some of them were a bit half-assed, I thought, throughout the weekend. But I want to just mention very quickly that the minutes applause he got in the United Everton game was fucking unbelievable.
Spot on, yeah. Well, he brought the World Cup. Didn't he take the World Cup to Goodison? One of the Everton players.
Yeah.
So I think he was. To be honest, not very often do you see a player get an applause from every ground in the country. So I was delighted for him. He deserved it. You don't really realise what he's done for the club and the country until you look back, and he's our leading goal scorer of all time, isn't he? What a player. My dad's absolute idol. My dad loved him, and as you know, he was knighted by the Cop, and he wasn't asked about the Queen's knighthood. He wanted the Cops, and he got it.
That's it. So now, like I say, big day because of that, important day because of that, and maybe the emotions did get to them. I thought the whole midfield didn't work for some reason, even though we've started that midfield a few times this season. For some reason, he just didn't click. Fabinho was off it. Like I say, Henderson was atrocious. Jones, outside of the assist he got for Salah's goal, was off the ball completely.
Jones baffled. Like I thought he'd go into that. You know, you've got Phil Foden there. You've got Sterling on the bench. You're playing alongside Henderson. You've got England players there. He's at a level where he needs to step up, and he done it against Porto. He was absolutely unreal against Porto. He run the show. He was fantastic. Which another game we haven't discussed.
Yeah,
but he was absolutely phenomenal against. I think he got 4 assists. He was fantastic. He grabbed the game by the balls and fucking ran with it. And I was part expecting him to try and be like that again, and he just looked scared. And it might be too big an occasion, and he's playing in a game with that atmosphere at home that he might not have done before. That roar of the cop. That I think also it sounds daft. Every time we do something like the mosaic, we're facing the Annie Road, so the players don't actually see it. It's behind them. And I don't know whether that facing it and seeing the crowd and all that, I've got shivers now talking about it. Being part of that, I think, might just took its toll, especially on local lads like Jones. He just didn't get going. He was like Henderson when we had Gerrard, sideways passing. 2-yard passes, didn't want the ball, didn't want to get in and run, and he's capable of doing it. He's one of our best players for doing it. If he gets the ball and goes, he's gone. Good luck catching him. Yeah. But he just didn't. He wasn't interested in doing it. I don't know the reason behind it. I don't know whether he's looked up and seen De Bruyne and all them, and his ass has gone a little bit. But it's expected. He's still only a young lad. But hopefully we see more of him and the Porto version of him in the future.
I think we will. I think with Jones, what I've noticed is he's so confident in his own ability, and you see it against certain teams. And like you say, some of these bigger games might be a bit too much for him at the minute. But when he's on it, and he just goes into a game like, I'm not asked to him playing. I'm just getting the ball and doing what I'm going to do with it. He's unbelievable. He's so creative. He's such a smart player for his age. And I think he's going to be, one of our biggest players for years to come. But maybe, like you say, you can afford him a ball game like that against City, where unfortunately it hasn't cost us. But yeah,
everyone was poor, so it wasn't. He didn't stand out as poor.
Exactly.
He just wasn't he was that good midweek that you're expecting him to carry that on, and it's hard. But when everyone's poor, when your captain's shit, and you're one of the best centre defensive mids in the world is playing shit, and your centre halves looking dodgy, and your full-backs aren't moving, it's one of them. It's just, you might just go to pot. I would.
Yeah,
you can't be. He's at that age. He can't be the one. You have rare players like Gerrard, who would have started to grab that by the scruff of the neck, and you're built different. Eventually, you will, but you need your captain to be doing that in games like that. And unfortunately, a lot of them is shite that first half. So you can't. We're talking bad performances. His was just one of many.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
But second half, we sprung into life straight away. It was a completely different. It was like it was different players. They were on the front foot straight away. I think didn't we have a corner within the first fucking 2 minutes or something?
Yeah, and then the crowd was lifted. Half.
Yeah, straight away. So, but we've got to fucking talk about Salah. I mean, the assist for the first goal, was good enough. You know, the way he's fucking just skipped past Cancelo.
The way he's dinked, I love it so much. The way he's dinked it past him now, and the analysis at the end, Cancelo should be doing so much more there. He's put his foot in to win the ball on the ground, and Salah's dinked it over his foot. What else can Cancelo do there? He's torn apart.
There's not a single defender in football history that could have stopped that happening the way Salah's done it.
He's literally about to get tackled, and he dinks it over him and goes. And you can say all you want, analyse it, when here, there, and everywhere. No one's stopping that. If he's doing that to Van Dijk's and all them. He's just a different level. That little run, and then the brain and the weight of the pass and all that. And at the moment, the one player you don't want on the end of it is Mane, because in front of goal he's been horrendous. But what a finish that was as well. Dead calm and collective, right in the side of the net, and hopefully that gives him the confidence he needs to crack on as well.
Yeah, So, obviously you said about the analysis. I didn't really listen to much of the analysis after the game, and you said you were sort of criticising Cancelo a bit. Now, if Ronaldo or Messi or any other winger you want, Jack Grealish, if he'd have done that, do you think the analysis would be slating the defender, or do you think it's disrespect for Mo Salah?
It would be total euphoria for what the attacker's just done. It would be. It'd just be. They'd forget there was a defence there. They'd just say, "Look how good it is what he's just done." And that I can't get my head. I've said it for years now. Mo Salah was one of the best players in the world. He's now the best player in the world. There's not a player. Shove your Ronaldo, shove your Messi. They've had great pasts. In the present, they'll still do bits. You've seen Messi against City. You've seen Ronaldo in the Prem. Most players are going to score a few goals a season. Messi and Ronaldo are probably two of the best players of all time. But at this current moment in time, and probably over the last 2 years, Mohamed Salah's the best footballer on the planet. There's no one close to him.
I think the only one who does come close to him for me is Lewandowski. The goals he scored, the things they've won over the last 2 years, he's the only one who comes close.
In terms of goal scoring ability as a striker, yeah, but I'm talking overall footballer at the moment. His defensive work, he's tracking back to our 6-yard box and winning the ball. He's taking the ball into their half and dribbling. He's setting up. He's scoring. He's a fucking nightmare for any defender and any midfielder to come up against. And he looks stronger. He's more powerful. He's not getting chuck off the ball. His agility and everything. He's fucking. If that goal he scored, that assist, the way he skips past Cancelo and the defenders, and then waits that pass to Mane. If that's Messi, Ronaldo, De Bruyne, anyone like that, they're wetting themselves. And don't get me wrong, he got credited for the ability of what he done, but it's not enough for me. And then the goal, that for me, that's probably the best goal I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's up there.
It's right up there. And it's only one of a few of his best goals. He's done it against Tottenham. He's done a similar goal against Everton, similar goal against Watford. It's not a one-off. He does it time and time again. He fucking skips past defenders, makes them fall over themselves, and fucking cuts back in, cuts out, cuts in again. He's a fucking nightmare.
But the thing is, with that one, lad, what made it so special for me is just the calibre of player that he had around him. He had Phil Foden, Bernardo Silva, who was arguably City's best player. He had fucking. I hate that cunt as well, but he was great on the day, you got to admit. He had Ruben Diaz, he had Ahmed Laporte, he had João Cancelo. That's 5 world-class footballers around him, and he's made every single one of them look fucking silly. He's put two of the best central defenders on the planet on their arse in the same move.
Plus the angle of the goal and the keeper that's in the sticks.
And the keeper, yeah, fucking
unreal.
Who does that? Imagine somebody coming to Anfield
with his weak foot.
Yeah, imagine someone coming to Anfield and putting Van Dijk and Matip on their arse in the same move. It doesn't happen. And Mo Salah done that to Diaz and Laporte. Lad, it was just unreal. It was. I didn't even when it went in. I didn't even cheer. Lad, I was just saying, "What? Oh my god, what the fuck just happened?"
Yeah, I was in awe of it. Like, don't get me wrong. I went berserk. I was fucking screaming the house down and that. Watched it with my half fella, but fuck me. That was the winning goal for me. That had to be the winner. And the goal we received the other end, fucking piss poor again.
It is.
My big concern at the moment, our defence, even with Van Dijk in it, is not the same. It is getting tore to shreds in parts of games. They are falling over. The passing outwards isn't as good. They're sitting back a little bit too deep and not attacking the ball. They got Milner for the first goal. Don't know what's going through his head for Foden's goal. He sort of sits in centre half with no one out wide. He's let the only pass available there is from Jesus to Foden.
Yeah. And
Milner's job there is to cut that step up 2 yards, cut that pass out, and he goes back 2 yards and lets the ball go. Don't know why he's done it. Don't know how he's being allowed to get the shot off. It's a great goal, but that's a defensive error for me. Alisson takes a 2 yard run out past his post and has to come back. So all around, that was just a fucking terrible goal to concede against the run of play on the day as well. the second half. We were the better team.
I noticed that a lot with Milner in the game. Now he was very narrow for a lot of the game, and I don't know if that's because he'd already got booked for the foul on Foden earlier on in the game, and I don't know if he's decided to come narrow to avoid sort of getting into a battle with him again, because
he knew probably
he'd fucking go. But that's what cost us, like you say. The only way that goal stops happening is if Milner isn't as narrow and is with his man. And if he's with his man, that goal doesn't happen.
It's a 2-yard step out. It's literally, but that's where your Van Dijks and your Matip should be screaming, fucking get out, step out. Yeah. And for some reason, they all congregate together in a little circle, and no one marked the man. They blocked the goal, not the man. It was a fucking mad bit of defending. Baffled me. The second one again, they analysed Walker. Walker made a fucking 70-yard run from his own half just to get followed, and he got followed. I think don't know whether it was it Andy Robbo?
I think it was Robbo, yeah.
Andy Robbo's had a swipe at the ball and it's come out to De Bruyne. There's no one there to close De Bruyne down. He's got a free shot, and unfortunately, Matip does something fucking crazy when Alisson's got the ball and chested into his own goal. But
thing is, I think Matip's in a no-win situation there, in my opinion. If he doesn't try and block it and it fucking goes in top in, Alisson had no chance. You'd say, why isn't Matip?
He shit out. Totally agree.
He's in a no-win situation, in my opinion. So I don't blame him for trying to block it. He's just done what any defender would have done. It just so happened that it looked like Alisson had it comfortable and it's fucking deflected away from him. It's one of them.
We'll never know. It might have went in the roof of the net, but his positioning, Matip, he's sort of helped it in. He hasn't turned and faced the ball. He's turned away from it.
Yeah.
Do you get me? He's turned it into the goal as opposed to turning the opposite way and letting it just whack him in the chest. If he does that, it's a clearance. But
yeah, I know.
To be fair, and I said that it felt like we lost the game because it was 2-2. After Salah's goal, even after Mane's goal, you think, we're on here. Go and score 2 or 3. Then Salah's goal, you're thinking, sit back a bit, but still try and get them on the counter. They just skipped through us twice, and it was terrible defending. It's annoying. But at half time, would you have took 2-2? Absolutely. So
unbelievable. Absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely. It's another game we haven't lost. They feel aggrieved because the penalty, the red card, and all that shit. But it is what it is.
Yeah.
Get over it.
On the red card, let's just touch on that a bit, because I don't think there'll be many people out there that would disagree with me saying we were very fortunate to keep 11 men on the pitch.
Yeah.
What Milner's even thought of doing there, I haven't got a fucking clue. For someone as a veteran like him, someone who's played as many games as he has in his career for 16 years, to just dangle a leg. That's what I used to do, lad, when I couldn't be arsed tackling someone. You just dangle a leg out to look like you're making an epic, you know what I mean?
I think that's exactly what it was, though. I think it was dangle the leg out to make it look like you're trying and expecting him to jump over it. And he's jumped into it, hasn't he? And he killed himself and landed on his head. That bastard. But it would have been worth it, that card, to see him fucking get injured. But yeah, it was stupidity. Absolutely stupid. And he was very lucky. But
I would have brought him off at half time myself, personally.
But he had a decent second half, though.
He did.
But as you say, you lose Milner's ability in going gung-ho into players. Only that once he done it. And it was once too many times for me. He should have been off the pitch.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm just screaming to the telly, "Fine, get up, you diving bastard." And then I see it and I was like, oh my God, he's off. He's fucking gone. Can't believe it.
Yeah, get up, you only landed on your fucking neck. No. Yeah, we were lucky, but again,
and the penalty, the penalty is of mixed opinion for me.
I don't think it was a penalty.
He's running at full speed, and first of all, Milner's shoulder catches him, which is a shoulder charge, and then he starts going down, and then he sort of detangle legs a little bit. If it was against us, I'd be screaming for a penalty.
Yeah, of course.
But I wouldn't be screaming if he didn't get it. I'd see it all and I'd be like, it's one way or the other, basically. Yeah. But they're the soft penalties they've stopped giving and VAR stopped giving, and I'd rather it be like that. Even if that happens to us 10 times this season, you've got to take it on the chin and say that's what we want football to be like. You've got to be able to shoulder charge a player when he's running. If he falls down, if momentum takes him to the floor and you have a little tangle of legs, is that a foul? He kicks him and he kicks him. It's one of them. He's already going down before he enters the box. So, if anything, it was a free kick. But I'm happy with it.
Yeah,
I'd have accepted it against us as nothing.
Yeah, I agree. And I think we said it a couple of weeks ago, like that's what's made the Premier League this season so far so much more enjoyable than the last few seasons, because they are letting the little things go. The game's not stopping as much. The game can flow. It's better games of football. So, yeah, it's one of them. Like you say, it was a shoulder badge. You happen to tangle legs. It's just one of them. It happens. Get up, get on with it. Stop moaning. Pep your ball, bro.
Mate, he is Basil Fawlty, isn't he?
He's fucking mad, lad.
He is.
But you know what? I can appreciate. I can sort of half appreciate the passion, because we've seen what Klopp gets like when we lose it, and he turns into the saltiest bastard on the planet.
Mate,
we're all here for it, so I can kind of half appreciate it.
No, it's great when it's because of your team. It's fucking great to watch. He loves counting numbers and fucking fingers, and I love the reaction. Is it Mike Dean on the sideline? Just he looks like he's just ready to burst out laughing. He just looks like he's trying to hold. It's like him off the in-betweeners when he has to leave the office to fucking cry laughing.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
That's what it was like, lad. And I was just howling at him. But when you see, like, I don't even get angry when Mourinho and that just stuff like that. You know what I mean? The likes of him, you think you little horrible bastard. But Guardiola, great manager. He wants his team to be the best he can be. He's a salty bastard. He's formed a rivalry with us that, unfortunately, on the pitch, it is a rivalry. They're great. We're great. And you don't want them to be best mates while the match is on.
No.
You don't want to see them hugging and kissing and fucking not moaning. You want to see them fucking doing exactly that. And I'd like to see Klopp do the same. And it's just great when you can see that how much we're in his fucking head this early on in the season. That's great for me. I love it.
But the thing is, what I like about what kind of I do like about Guardiola at the same time is he'd play us every week. If he had the chance, he would play us every week. He loves playing against Liverpool. He loves playing against Klopp's team. He loves coming to Anfield. He revels in it, and you've got to
that's why he's a top manager. That's why he's a top manager. You can't shy away from the big games. You win some, you lose some. We're the same. We've got that in us, in our DNA, where we expect to win every one, and when we don't win, it fucking gets to us bad. But like, you'd have had people, if we'd have lost that game there from the performance in the first half, saying we have not got enough to compete with these. You know what I mean? But then we turn on the second half and we show the real Liverpool, and that's what it's all about. It's a game of football. It's never quite consistent. It's never quite the same. And you see things like we see against City, that Salah goal. Fucking hell, mate. You mightn't see nothing like that again for you. I loved that Peter Geordie's commentating on it.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. But you're getting commentators and analysers putting it up there with Maradona. Something Maradona would have done, and Messi and Ronaldo, and rightly so, because it's probably one of the best goals of all time.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. Ballon d'Or, want to just touch on that a little bit. Nominees were out yesterday, 30 players, some fucking odd choices in it. Like,
how can they pick 30 players? That's fucking ludicrous.
It's a strange one, lad. I don't understand how they can choose so many players to potentially be the best in the world. But like that Simon, what's his name, Simon Kjaer or something, you know, the Danish fella who was the first to Christian Eriksen when he collapsed.
For the Ballon d'Or?
So
Ballon d'Or for first aid or for football? What the fuck?
I don't know. Like, okay, give him a different award, recognise him in a different way for what he done for Christian Eriksen, but he's not good enough. He's not one of the 30 best players in the world. He's not even close. He's not even probably one of the 30 best players in fucking Serie A. You know what I mean? Like, it's a weird decision, but some of the names in there.
On the what's that? Sports.
Sports personality.
Sports personality. Put him on something like that. Yeah, well, fair enough.
Just sort of create an award like a fucking.
Or the Pride of Britain, Pride of Dane award. Just
give him something, but not like.
You can't win. You can't win the best footballer in the world because you helped your mate and stopped them dying. Because every other fucking player would be doing the same.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd be asking you to blag to fucking go down so I can win the Ballon d'Or.
In my state at the minute, I don't think I'd have to blag, to be honest.
You wouldn't get back up. Like, I'd lose the Ballon d'Or because you'd fucking pop it.
But no, yeah, so the Ballon d'Or anyway, 30 players, our sole representative is Mo Salah. I'd like to think he's got a good chance of winning it, but then seeing the way he's just been robbed the player of the month in the Premier League for Ronaldo with his 3 tap-ins after 3 keeper mistakes, I'm not so confident, to be honest.
It's all publicity, isn't it? The more publicity Ronaldo gets, the more publicity the Premier League gets and Man United and all that. The narrative around Salah has been the same for years. I don't get how he's not quite spoken about as one of the best players in the world. Only until last week, that goal, people like Sky Sports, Paddy Power, Bet365, fucking, what's it called, ESPN and all them, all commenting on him. Is he the 3rd best player in the world? No, he's not. He's the fucking best player in the world. Then they're starting to make stories up that Liverpool fans don't quite appreciate him enough. We sing his name half an hour a game. He's got fucking fans changing religions and everything. We absolutely idolise the man. He's one of the best players.
We've literally christened him the Egyptian King. Like, someone put that, it's a moniker, only shared it with Kenny Dalglish. And if Kenny Dalglish wasn't the king, Salah would probably be the king. You know what I mean? Not just the Egyptian king. But
in
to say we don't appreciate him,
he is the king.
Yeah, absolutely. To say we don't appreciate him is an absolute fucking bullshit statement.
I think Kenny would agree. I think Kenny would fucking hand him his own crown if he could. He's absolutely, what he's done for this club over the last few years, what he's helped us win. In times where we haven't performed, he's carried us in the odd game. He's exceptional. He's one of the best players. People talk. I've spoke about Torres as my favourite ever Liverpool player. Mo Salah fucking overrides him.
Has he took over? Has he?
He's took him. Yeah, he's got. You can't. Torres, I loved is what he had with the fans. This season's Mo Salah. He's usually a bit coy, isn't he, when he scores and that? Apart in big games, the top off. He's took his top off this season. He's being like that to the crowd. Come on, when he scored. He's got it in him. He's touching his badge and all that. He's got that in him now, where he is Liverpool through and through. He is. He loves Liverpool. We give him a lease of life in the Premier League again when he thought he was down and out, and he's repaid us. We need to repay him now. Give him whatever fucking amount of money he wants. It doesn't matter if he wants 400 grand a week. It works out a £75 million contract. We got the fucker for 30 mil, 34 mil or something. Yeah. Pay him. Pay the man what he wants and get him here till he retires because he deserves it. He's fucking brilliant. But yeah, Suarez, he's overtook Suarez. He's overtook Torres. He's fucking very close to overtaking Fowler. He is literally unbelievable.
He is. So does that mean you're not worried about Newcastle coming in for him in January?
Oh, lad, what's going on there? No, I'm not worried. I think the ship sailed for everyone now in terms of new owners. I think FIFA Fair Play's in. Teams like Man City and PSG who got the ball rolling before it was in and had the loopholes and had the strategies to get around it.
And Chelsea. Don't leave them out.
They've all got the little ways and means around it. At the moment, literally, what can Newcastle do? They sell out every week. The squad's worth fuck all. Their academy is probably not up to scratch. So their revenue, they're not going to sell anything much worldwide at this moment. So their revenue that they're bringing in is they can't turn up and go 150 mil bid for Harry Kane because they can't have magic their books because they put their books through every year, while FIFA Fair Play's in. So they're being legit because Mike Ashley was horrible anyway. He was taking money out the club, not putting it in. So I don't think they can just turn up at fucking Tottenham's door in January and go, yeah, there's 200 mil for Harry Kane because we've sold out 150,000 seater for 10 years on the trot and we've saved up. There's no way around it, really. So good luck to them. Unfortunately, the owner is a cunt.
Yeah.
And good luck to them. They're a boss set of fans. They're great away fans when they come here, bar when they sing "Feed the fucking Scousers," the thick, dozy bastards. One of the worst places to live in the UK. Great place to go when you're following Liverpool. They're a laugh. I remember when we snuck in their supporters club because no pub would let us in, and we were fucking drinking Newcastle Brown with them. And well, not with them, they were laughing at us for drinking it, saying it tastes like shit. So, but we wanted to taste Newcastle while we were there. I thought it was all right. But no, every time I've met a Geordie, every time I've been to Newcastle, every time they've been here and I've had a bevy with the fans, I've never had a bad issue with them. The passionate supporters, they deserve them whatever they get. Be good to see them fighting in around the top 10. But I think that's the limit for them for the next few years at least. But
I just think
just a shame about the owner.
I think people are getting caught up on the money. Like, Everton have got money, and the fucking best players they bought is fucking Alex Iwobi and Gylfi Sigurdsson. So, just because you got the money doesn't mean you're immediately going to be able to attract these world-class players, because you've got Kylian Mbappe there. Say Newcastle throw a 200 mil bid in for Kylian Mbappe, and Real Madrid do the same as well. Do play in front of 50,000 Geordies who take the top off in any weather, or do go and win another Champions League, or win a Champions League, or 7 with Real Madrid? It's like decisions, you know what I mean?
But as I say, I don't think they're going to be in that position where they can do that. I don't think that's ever going to be an option for them to attract that type of player. They might go out and try. I'd love them to go and get Benitez. I'd love them to just offer Benitez 500 grand a week, lad. I'd be fucking made up. I would. I'd be so happy. I'd be so happy.
What did they read? Fucking Benitez's agent has said to Everton, apparently, just tell us how much compensation you want for Rafa, because Newcastle want him back apparently before the end of the international break.
I'd take my fucking top off. I'd be made up. But I'll be honest with you. I think, as we said when he joined them, no hard feelings. It's location only, and he's probably settled down there. He's doing a good job there, unfortunately, at the moment. Half decent job anyway. Before he relegates them. But I'd love him to move down there. Be fucking great.
Thing is, I don't think he ever wanted to necessarily leave Newcastle, in all honesty.
No, he was fucking pushed. He was pushed. He loved Newcastle. But again, they're like, I put a post yesterday saying it is similar to Everton. Their expectations are high. The team shit. The club shit. The run shit. They live in the past. Everton are still crying about 1985 and going on about the cup in 1995. They won fuck all since. Being close to winning an FA Cup once, got to one final, lost. Newcastle haven't done anything since the fucking 60s, I don't think. But they're still expecting them to be in the top 4 every year. It's just a mindset. It is, fans say to us, we live in the past. Fucking hell, I'd hate to think they're in a different fucking world. There's dinosaurs walking around their world. It's fucking mad. But as I say, with the fans, good luck to them. But as I say, it is a shame where the money's coming from. But it's the same. It's the same. They've got their hand in everything. They've got their hand in Starbucks, Disney, machinery, fucking weapons, all sorts. It's just a horrible place for money to come from, and it's all oil money.
Yeah.
The country's run like the fucking like the fucking 1800s. But as a football fan, football's fickle. I don't think any Geordie is thinking twice where the money's coming from, as long as they get where they need to be. And unfortunately, that's the way of the world. If they live that way, they live that way. We can't change them. They've got to change themselves. But I think Alan Shearer discussed it, saying that we do need to like combat it, sort of thing. We need to hold discussions and let them know our thoughts and the way they live, and see what happens. Yeah,
I mean, I think sort of very slowly, Saudi Arabia is becoming a little bit more progressive. I know recently they've sort of let women start driving and shit like that. It's fucking
2021.
It's a weird sentence to say, lad, but it's a different fucking world.
Well, to be fair, have you seen the women drivers here? Fucking want to ban them.
No, I think they are making sort of small subtle changes, lad. And I think at the minute, that's all you can really fucking hope for over there.
Yeah, you can't go from what they are to what we are overnight. And
No.
as long as he, as you say, this Prince is trying to make progressive change. He is apparently like meant to be man of the people and all that. But talking about like all the shit that goes on with the oil money and the murders and all that, if that's going on behind the scenes, then it doesn't matter what you are at the front. It's what's going on at the back that you'll be judged on overall. But say it's got no, in terms of football, it doesn't bother us. It's not going to affect us. We'll have a nice kitty in the summer, a little bit in January if we need it. Nice kitty in the summer. We haven't spent for fucking 2 seasons, but Bar and Canate, so and Jota. So we've only spent like 120 mil over the last 2 seasons.
Thiago.
Yeah, so it's one of them. Yeah, 40 mil a piece in it, something like that. So
we don't spend all that. So
120 mil over the last summer and January. Spent 40 mil this January, this summer. So if we need something in January, we'll go out and get it. Again, I always put it down to Klopp. Klopp will get who he wants when he wants. And if he waited for Mane. He waited to move clubs before he landed Mane. That's how fucking precise he is. He couldn't get him at Dortmund, so he got him at us. You know what I mean? Jota, he waited a year and a half to get Jota. He's wanted Jota since he joined, since like 2 years in at us. He said that himself. Thiago, he wanted.
Van Dijk.
He played the game. Van Dijk, he waited 6 months for. So you've just got to let him do what he's going to do. One thing I really want, and I'd give me fucking legs and arms for it, my arms and legs. Klopp to sign a contract, and for even if it's for another year or two, or for him to agree that is it 2024 he's packing in.
Yeah.
That he'll have a year out, give it to Pep Linders for a year, and then consider coming back. And I'd have that. I'd take that all day long, and then retire when he's 60 at Liverpool, won the fucking lot, and we're all smiling and dancing.
I think if you're still enjoying it, lad, by the time it comes to 2024, I think if it's even the start of next season, I think there'll be discussions happening about it to say, look, give us another couple of years, give us another 3 years. And, you know, but I think the board, the owner, John Henry, and that, they've got to give him some assurances. If they want to keep him, they've got to give him better backing. Not to say that they haven't backed him, because obviously they have, but I think with Newcastle getting this money, with the way City spend money, with the way Chelsea spend money, I think we need to be able to say to Klopp, right, we're going to give you give us another few seasons, and we'll give you their backing. You know what I mean, kind of thing. The similar type of backing. If you want to go out and buy a £80 million player, we'll let you do it, kind of thing. Not to say I don't think Klopp wants to work that way necessarily, but I think
I don't think he does. But he said, didn't he? Like, if he went out and bought a centre mid, then the likes of Harvey Elliott and Curtis Jones mightn't get a chance, and he doesn't want that. So why not? Harvey Elliott's brilliant. Curtis Jones, brilliant. Why go and spend 50 million on a player who's going to be brilliant now, forcing us to sell 2 players who are going to be brilliant for years in the future? Just hang on a year, and we'll see the best out of the lads. Harvey Elliott's back in fitness mode, isn't he? He's been on the bike and that. I seen the team photograph. He was on crutches, but then the day later he was on a bike. So I'm a bit baffled by it all. But it is what it is. He's mentally strong. Hopefully he comes back a better player. And I think the experience of the injury and being out the team will just make him hungrier than ever. And I think it's better getting an injury like that at a young age if you can overcome it and get straight back in. So fingers crossed he comes back firing on all cylinders again, because he's been brilliant. Yeah,
he was unbelievable. So then, before we go, let's look ahead a bit. Next game, obviously, internationals going on at the minute, which we all love so much. Just on the subject of internationals, by the way, I don't know if you've seen the fucking stadium England are playing in tonight. Was fucking on fire yesterday.
Was it? Yeah.
Yeah, dugout's been melted. Fucking.
They're still playing there,
and they're still going to play there. Yeah.
As you do.
It's Andorra, isn't it? Like, they can't have many football stadiums.
They've probably got one.
Yeah.
They've got one shopping centre, I think. I've been there.
Still better than Goodson. But yeah, international, so no footy this week. But Watford, Watford next week, 16th, early game. I kind of like the early games, to be honest, but just can't have a repeat of the last time we went to Watford.
No, we can't. New manager.
Claudio Ranieri.
So they've got a new manager, so it's the fucking case, the new manager as always. They'll be right up for it, won't they? It's gonna be hard. We've got a few injuries, a few players out. Again, every game's hard in the Premier League. You've just got to go out and fucking tear them apart. But because we need to sit a little bit deeper than we usually do against teams like that. Sit a little bit deeper, but have your defenders playing the long balls, the wings and that. Against Man City, they were just whacking it out for throw-ins and just hooving it up. There was no need for it. There was no pass on, so they were just whacking it up. Whereas against these, we need to make the space. Early goal could result in a battering. But we need, as the time goes on, I think it's going to be a tough game.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a tough game. Like I said, there's no easy games in the Premier League anymore. Ranieri, everyone knows what he's about. He's been around for fucking forever. So he'll make it a tough game. Going to be probably a very different look. Liverpool side for the game. Looks like we're not going to have Alisson. No Fabinho.
That's outrageous, that, by the way. That's fucking... Why we can't say to them, see, them internationals, fucking, no, they're not coming. Not losing them for 10 days is beyond me. We should have the power. We pay them their wages. They work for Liverpool Football Club. We should be able to fucking stop them going there. Know what I mean? Yeah. I can't go on holiday somewhere and then go back into work and then afford to lose 10 days pay. So why should they?
Yeah, I know.
Know what I mean?
Stupid. But yeah, so them two are out. And looks like they're going to miss the Atletico game the midweek as well. And then a red card.
Who's Alisson, Fabinho, and then we've got Jota has got a knock.
Jota's got a muscle injury. Jones has got a muscle injury.
Might as well just live in the hospital. He's never fit. And yeah, Jones as well.
So could be very...
Kelleher in goal.
Yeah.
Robbo, Van Dijk, Matip.
Hopefully Trent's back.
Trent, yeah, he's had a knock, hasn't he?
And then midfield, I think you're looking at like Paul Ince holding midfield, Jason McAtee, the fucking and Paddy Berger.
Okay, now. You're looking at probably Milner, Henderson, and
maybe
Keita or the Ox.
Ox hasn't looked on it though.
No, not at all.
Ox has looked poor. Keita, when he's played again, I think he's had a bit of a knock. And I want to say as well, this season, I think they're managing these players who constantly get injured. I think we're managing them very well this season. Matip is looking good every time he plays. And
you fucking said it now. Oh,
I know. Leave me alone.
No.
He's playing a couple of games and then he's getting a game out. You know what I mean? We're managing him the right way. We're not just relying on him all the time. And I think we're doing the same with Keita. And Keita, for me, this season's look good.
Yeah, he has. He's looked very good when he's coming on. And I think he's perfect for that role of coming on and getting the ball and bursting into the box. He's the only other one other than Jones who does it. Gets it and he just skips past you. Gets into the box. So, yeah, again, as you just said, managing him. Do you start him or do you not? But can you have an £80 million player sat on your bench because he can't stay fit? So you've got to risk him, haven't you? So yeah, I'd probably go Milner, Henderson and Naby. And then obviously Mane, Salah and Bobby.
Yeah, that's that for me now. I don't think Jota's been fantastic as of late. I think Firmino warrants a starting place at the moment.
I think Jota is he's a Robbie Fowler type of player. He needs space. He needs space. He needs to make space. He needs other players to make space for him. He'd be perfect with Firmino in the team because Firmino drags out two players for Jota to get in. Yeah. And unfortunately, it hasn't worked for him the last few games. But he's still working hard. He's still trying. He doesn't hide. He's busting a gut for us. He's running.
Never knock him for that.
Again, it's hard for him when you've got your midfielders and your other players not playing quite as well as they have when you started. So, yeah, I think a little break out the team would do him the world of good. If it's with a little slight knock, then at least there's an excuse. He hasn't been dropped. But yeah, Firmino's been all right the last few weeks when he's come on. So yeah, give him a go. Even Origi, Origi's meant to be hungry and doing all right in training, working hard, and wants to fight for a place, as he said in the summer when he didn't leave. So I think that the likes of your Watfords and that is the games where Origi can get involved, where it's going to be a bit of a fight. It's going to be a bit of a hard game. Put him in for the muscle and the strength and holding the ball up, and have Bobby running off him. So maybe go for the 4-2-3-1 sort of thing.
Yeah. Just moving back into the midfield for a moment. We obviously played Norwich in the League Cup, and Tyler Morton, I'm not sure which one it is, but come on at half time and looked absolutely fucking brilliant. I thought, would he be in Klopp's thoughts? Think for at least a place on the bench against Watford, if we're a couple of midfielders short.
I don't know. I can't remember the game, to be honest with you.
No,
How long ago?
It was only a couple of weeks ago, League Cup.
No.
No. Well, anyway, he come on. He played really well second half. Come on at half time. I can't remember who he replaced, but he was very composed. Didn't put a pass wrong. Was getting forward with it. He just looked like, again, another one off the pipeline. So if for a couple of midfielders short, then I'd be happy with him having definitely a place on the bench at the very least.
I don't think we are short though, are we? Because you've got Milner, you've got Henderson, you've got Keita, you've got Dion.
Yeah, so I mean, I think at the minute we are maybe one or two players short. I know you've just named a couple, but I mean, you stopped at 4, so maybe we could do it. Maybe we could do it throwing somebody in the mix again, even if it's just on the bench. Some of the youngsters who played against Norwich were really good. Katie Gordon, especially, fucking on the right wing, was brilliant in the game. So I think Klopp's always shown it's a case of your age doesn't matter if you're good enough, you're old enough. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a couple of more youngsters making the debuts this season.
To be fair though, like we've got a week or two now for recovery, so you might see the likes of Thiago back. If it's just a little muscle knock, you might see Jones there. Thiago might play 20 minutes, then we'll see him again in 6 weeks. It'd be great. But I think it is becoming a bit. We knew Thiago's injury record at Munich and at Barca wasn't great, and he's come to the most injured club in the Premier League, and he's just carrying on his legacy. Brilliant footballer, but it's getting a bit frustrating now. You're seeing him play 2 games and then he's out for 4 weeks. It's one of them. How do you manage that? It's fucking hard. Phenomenal footballer, but it's getting frustrating.
It is. So the one thing that people always love from us, Jay, as you know, is when we give predictions, because we always get them right. That's what they love about us.
Have we got one wrong yet?
I don't think we have,
I think I predicted 3-0 against City or 3-1.
Yeah.
But at 2-1, to be fair, I was like that on me cash out because we're going to fucking hell.
That's it. I done 3-0, Mane first goal, lad, and I knew we were going to finish 3-0. So I got straight on me fucking bet, and I was like, cash out unavailable. You fucking cunt. Wouldn't even let me cash out
for 17p.
Yeah. Nah, so got it there, like, whatever. So yeah, Watford, new manager, few changes to be sprung by Liverpool. What's your prediction?
My prediction, 2-0. I usually, do you know what, I do 3-0 every week, but it's away, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's away. Their fans are decent. They'll be bouncing off the walls. They love it when the big clubs come because they can try and fucking terrify them. It's like a little den, innit? New manager. At the end of the day, new manager, but the same personnel on the pitch, so they're still shite. But as always, he'll put a tactical plan in place to stop us scoring. It's going to be a tough game, and he loves to hit you on the counter as well. So we will have to be cautious. I think if we score early, we batter them. If we can keep pressing at them, don't lose our shit, don't lose our heads, and keep going at them, we will score a few. But we've got to be fucking careful of not getting overwhelmed by the atmosphere and by the likes of the new manager and that, and conceding, because if we concede early, I think we're fucked.
Yeah, absolutely.
But 2-0.
Yeah, I'm going to say 2-1. I can't see us, for some reason, I just can't see us keeping a clean sheet. But I think we should have enough to see the game out quite comfortably. I think their goal, probably if they do get one, will be a consolation rather than something that keeps them in the game.
Fingers crossed.
But yeah, I think it should be comfortable enough. If they get one, it obviously makes things a little bit more uncomfortable. But like you say, it's the same people on the pitch. They're still shite. To be fair, you know what? Actually, you say they're shite. The manager really probably didn't deserve to get sacked. They haven't had that bad of a start of the season. 7 points from 7 games for a newly promoted team. It's not that bad of a record.
No, not really. Suppose.
I don't know, their owner just gets a fucking hard on for sacking managers or something, I don't know.
They love it, don't they?
They've had like 16 managers like this week.
He must know the Everton owners. To tell you what, was it Norwich? We beat Norwich 3-0, didn't we?
Yeah.
Minamino, yeah. Do you know what I've done? This is how fucking stupid I am. I've done Liverpool to win 3-0. Minamino first goal. And then, what's it? Minamino first goal, 2-0.
Yeah.
Minamino to score a hat-trick. So why I done 2-0, I'll never know. So I thought when I thought they've won 3-0, I've done Minamino at hat-trick here. I must have won, and I checked and I've done 2-0. Like, fuck's sake.
That's class, that. Only you could do that, seriously.
But either the one, Minamino.
Oh, yeah.
You could throw him in the midfield if you wanted.
Yeah, you could. And again, he's another one. No, but he's another one. He's looked hungry. He obviously got loaned out last season, which probably would have sort of pissed him off a little bit, thinking I'm good enough to play for Liverpool, and he wants to show it. So, hopefully it does work out for us.
I think decisions like that are brave from the manager, but also it's got to benefit you. Southampton, it's a decent football team. The way they set up, the way they play, a little bit similar to us. They press hard and all that. So if you're not going to play for Liverpool, he's not going to replace Salah, Firmino, Jota, Mane or Salah, which one I haven't said. He's not going to. So at the end of the day, you can't afford to give a brand new player who you are hoping is good in the future 10 minutes every blue moon. You've got to let him play. So he's probably said that to him. Listen, go out, play, see how you get on. If you do all right, come back. And if he wanted him, we kept him. Fair enough. So see how he goes. I like him. And even that, in the likes of the cups and that, I'm sick of going out the fucking cup early. Sick of to death. We go out at that stage every year, I think.
Yeah.
100%. So delighted to have a team capable of beating decent teams. And I want to win everything. I don't want people are talking about the FA Cup and you've got to risk the FA Cup to go for the Champions League. You haven't. Just have a decent squad. And when the going gets tough and you start going to the later stages, put a few better players in. But I want the League Cup, I want the fucking FA Cup. Win the League Cup in February, March, and it's there you go. You're on your way to success. You've won.
It's a boost for the rest of the season, isn't it?
That's it. You've won your first trophy. You've got the taste, and you crack on. And hopefully, I've just got a good feeling about this season. Got a Gerard Houllier feel about this season. Yeah, I've got a little. I think he won it. I think, in my opinion, I think Klopp's going to be hungry to win everything in his time at Liverpool, and I think this might be the year. You win the league. We want to win the league. We want to win the Champions League, but sometimes you just fall short. But if you put a trophy in the cabinet in a year, you've qualified the Champions League and maybe finished second or third. You've qualified the Champions League. You played well. You're looking good, and you put a trophy in the cabinet as well, or two. It's happy days, isn't it?
That's it, lad. That's it. No, I've got a good feeling about this season myself. I have from fucking middle of last season, to be honest. I've just been the back end of last season. I was looking forward to the season because I knew once we got people back, we'd be looking like the old Liverpool, and at times we have this season. Obviously, there's still been parts where we've been a bit shaky. As I say, the last couple of games conceded a few goals. But for the most part this season, we've looked like the fucking title winning Liverpool again.
Yeah, and he will go through spells. I think the defence is a bit shaky. You can't rely on Van Dijk at the moment. He's a little bit slower. He's a little bit less confident getting to the first ball as well. I felt like against Man City, he left Matip exposed a few times, in the sense that I don't think he had the belief or the bottle to go and challenge in situations, and he left it to Matip. That'll come. That he's a few weeks away from getting back to his normal self. He will get there. He's one of the best players in the world. But yeah, the players just look hungry, and even games like Brentford, I thought Brentford should have beat us. They scored 3 goals past us, and in part of the game, they literally tore us apart. They deserved their points, and you couldn't fucking soak if they got 3. Man City in spells tore us apart. What's going to happen? As long as we're scoring at the other end and not losing games, then that is the sign of champions. And we'll just crack on doing that. As more players come back, fitness improves, we players start getting used to each other and stuff again, and they lose that little bit of rust. We'll be sound, absolutely sound.
Yeah. That about covers it for today, I think. Then, so yeah, we'll be back after the Watford game, basically. Hopefully, we can talk about the 3 points and being top of the league.
And hopefully, I can tell you that I was right with my prediction.
Hopefully, you can. Or we both can. Well, we can't both because we said different scores. But yeah, one of us can be right, hopefully. But yeah, happy days. Let's fucking crack on. Smash Watford. Go back top of the league. And then smash Watford.
Happy days.
Happy days. Up the Reds.
Up the Reds.